ஒரே ஒரு 5 லிட்டர் இதய மந்த்ரா கடல் எண்ணெய் பேக் ஒரு மாசம் முழுசுக்கும் அத்தனை சமையல முடிச்சு விடலாம். இதய மந்த்ரா.
இனிய விவசாயிகளே, சகோதர சகோதரிகளே, அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். I am so happy to see so many, a galaxy of people, those who are carrying on the legacy of Dr. G. Namalwar. Organic farming, natural farming. Friends, we know that today the whole world is facing, and so are we, even our country Bharat, we are facing serious existential crisis. Our soil is becoming barren. Climate is completely chaotic. And all this is happening because of us, the human being. We know that when the British had left us, we were very poor. We were food deficient. Before the British came, Bharat never had food scarcity. We had plenty of food. I have gone through some papers in our Chennai archive. During 1820, 1830, 1840, our food production in Tamil Nadu, this land, was so high. You know, in Kaveri Delta, just about 200 years back, we used to produce about 6 metric ton of rice per hectare. 6 metric ton. It is an ideal target which even country like Japan is trying to achieve. Today, with all these, we have not yet reached that. But what happened during the British time? The farmers suffered, farming suffered. The lands were brought under heavy taxation. It became non-viable. Farmers found it difficult to carry on farming because they had to pay heavy tax to the government. Not only that, many areas where we could grow crops, those land were brought by force by the British for cultivating opium, indigo, because they wanted to sell it across the world. So, during British time, agriculture suffered very badly. And so by the time they left, we were food deficient. During British time, we had so many famine also. Before British, there is no history of famine in this country. So since we were food deficient, there was need to improve the sudden boost to the food production. We needed to feed our people. And at that time, which was very much needed, a great revolution happened, green revolution. We have started using varieties of seeds. We have started using chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides. Of course, the food production increased many times, and we became from food deficient to food surplus. Today we have so much food that we are not only feeding ourselves, we are also feeding the hungry people in many countries in the world. This is all because of our farmers. Our farmers, Prime Minister calls and we all know they are Annadata, one who gives you the food. I know what is the plight of a farmer, the difficulties that a farmer faces, because I myself come from a farmer's background. I am the first person to come out of my farming community in the services. Till my high school days, I was in my village assisting my family in farming. But over the period, we became food surplus. But then at what cost? Excessive use of chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides has destroyed our land. At that point of time, it was needed in 60s. But because it's like asteroid, when you fall sick and you are facing existential, you may survive, you may not survive, doctor gives you asteroid. I know that in COVID, many of us who suffered COVID were treated with asteroid because that is a life-saving. But if you continue administering asteroid, then the person dies, cannot survive. Now, at that point of time, when we were food deficient, because of more than nearly 200 years of bad management or destruction of agriculture by the British, we needed to produce more and more food. And we went for agriculture, the Green Revolution, which did a great service to us. Our farmers produced not only for sufficient for us, but sufficient even to take care of, even if suppose there is a drought, or because our farming mostly were dependent on rains to a great deal. Even if we suffer because of the climate change, we have the buffer to feed our people, all thanks to the farmer. But now, with this bad effect of the chemical fertilizers, chemical cultivation, we need to move away to sustainable, organic, natural farming. And in this, we have a great leader from this land, Dr. G. Namalwar. Imagine, he was not just an ordinary farmer, he was an agricultural scientist. He experimented. He didn't believe something because it is coming from tradition. He experimented. He found, he verified, and then he advised the farmers. He gave us the mantra, the solution, that we can have good output, good yield, healthy crop without using chemical fertilizer through natural and organic process. I was reading through some works of Dr. Namalwar, and I was reminded that what he said, I have seen in my 50s as a young child, our parents were practicing that. It was not that it was not known. At the time, we never used chemical fertilizer. We used organic manures. Not only that, we had a lifestyle, a farming system that had created an ecosystem where we didn't have to buy input from outside, whether it is a seed, because we used to preserve the seed for the next crop. Fertilizer, no chemical fertilizer, we used manures, organic manures, dungs, and other manures. There was no issue of those days, much of paste. And there was an ecosystem in which we had large number of cattle. We used to have in the field. I know as a young boy, when I used to go to the farm, when the harvesting used to happen, the paddy harvesting. We know that when harvesting happened, I'm not talking about now with modern harvester, which just chops off the crop, leaves the stalk. Those days, when the paddy is ripe, but still a stalk is green, not fully dried. So they used to cut it and leave it on the field to dry up. And after a few days, when a stalk dries up, then we used to tie up and bring it to our place closer home for further taking out the grain. But then, while harvesting, we used to do something which I read about Dr. Namalwar saying. When he said about that, Adi Kartaka, Nado Martaka, Nune Vitaka. Now, this when we used to harvest, leaving this part of the root and above a bit of the stem, that used to be cultivated and used to rot in the field itself. The stalk we used to feed our cattle. We used to have cow, bulls, oxen, bullocks, good number of them. Nowadays we find people hardly have, they all have tractors and all. So cattle used to be fed on that, and crop grains we used to have. In the field, while harvesting happened, a lot of paddy used to fall on the field itself. Our elders never allowed, and never, it was unthinkable to pick up those paddy which have fallen on the field itself, because they said these are for the birds. Don't disturb them. Nobody could think of. And we used to have swarms of birds all around. Those seasons, all around. Now when I go to my village, hardly I find birds. Now this destruction of the ecosystem that happened with the modern agriculture, chemical-based agriculture, it is destroying the ecosystem. It is destroying the earth. Dr. Namalwar used to say, and so as our ancestors I used to hear in my village, we always looked upon earth as our mother. Today, educated people, they will tell you, earth, it is inanimate. There is no life in it. I really wonder, the one that gives all the life, we all are here because something which the earth gives and we eat. You put a seed and earth gives the life, it grows. So the earth that gives all the life, how can it be lifeless? How can it be inanimate? We say that no, it cannot. So our ancestors used to say, then earth is mother. because it gives us life, it gives us food. And this was our traditional wisdom all over. I have traveled in different parts of the country, almost all the parts. Even in the remote areas, the tribal areas, this belief is there. They look upon earth as a mother. But this modern outlook, it has become just a source to be exploited. You know, this is the fundamental change in our outlook. This change in outlook is causing destruction. This has to change. We have to come back to our received wisdom. We have to look at the earth with reverence, with respect. Because of excessive use of chemicals, there are many cases in our country where we have seen how once highly productive land, highly productive agriculture, today it is in a very bad case. And we all know about the status of Punjab, how it used to be. Till 1980s, Punjab was running the front state in agricultural production. Today, it is pitiable, miserable. It's because excessive use of chemicals. Soil health is destroyed. The microbes, microorganisms that used to be in the soil no longer, because the chemicals have spoiled them, all the pesticide. It is not sustainable. It is going to destroy our future. There was also a belief that you can have a higher yield only when you use chemical fertilizer. That also has been disproved. It is not correct. If we do the organic farming scientifically, there is no decline in yield. Plus, the quality of the produce, whether it is a food grain, whether it is a fruits, whether it is a vegetables, is far more healthier, rich in nutrients, rich in vitamins, and no pesticide or no trace of toxic chemicals. Healthy food. My mother used to say that earth is like mother cow. You feed the cow properly, nourish the cow, it gives you milk. That milk sustains you, it gives you, supports you. For the children, for the adult, for every age of a person, milk sustains life. But you get the milk not by giving a steroid to the cow, but by proper feeding. If you start giving a steroid to the cow will die. Similarly, the earth has to be treated with respect like mother. And this is precisely what Dr. Namalwar had taught us, dedicated his life. And I feel so happy because I was getting an impression that somehow Namalwar is being forgotten today. You go in the universities and all the agriculture scientists, agriculture universities and all, people all talk about, so-called the new things. I don't hear much about. But when I see so many of you here who are practicing, who are scientists, who are practicing organic farmers, it gives me a lot of encouragement. Friends, our future lies in organic natural farming. And it's time that what Dr. Namalwar taught us, it should be the part of the curriculum. It must be, because he has written a number of books. his whole approach, no input from outside, it is from the farm. Minimum from outside. And through the process, the natural and organic process, you enrich the soil, you harvest a good crop. Now, today the world, this problem, the whole world is facing this problem. And across the world they have no solution, because in the Western world is so materialistic. Their spirituality is of a different order. They do not believe that elements of the nature, there is any spirituality in it. They look at earth as a resource to be exploited. We don't expect much light or much hope from them. The whole world is looking up to India, to Bharat, how Bharat is going to help find a solution to this problem of sustainable agriculture, sustainable life, sustainable environment. And that is why our Prime Minister for the last 10 years has been putting a lot of thrust on organic farming, natural farming. When I see his programs, I feel that he is a great devotee of Dr. Namalwar. He has been following him. He has been following him in detail. We need to build it as a campaign. Today, there are states which are doing very well. We know how Sikkim is doing. Sikkim has become completely they got the award, distinction of the first organic state in the country, completely organic, 100%. They don't allow any chemical fertilizer at all. Similarly, there are good stories coming from other places. Good stories coming from Maharashtra. Good stories also coming from UP and Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. There are different places. And good stories are also from Tamil Nadu. Here we find our people who are doing at certain scale. I think we have to make it a movement. It has to be a movement. And for a movement, we have to, it is a little difficult task. It's not easy, because even when I talk to our agricultural scientists, many of them, they have a prejudice. They have a prejudice. They believe that everything good can come only out of this chemical cultivation or farming. We have to convince them. We have to disprove or disabuse them of the notion, and we have to bring them around. Now, to ensure, to give a boost that more and more students of agriculture take up to organic farming, natural farming. They study more and more about organic farming. We at the Raj Bhavan have decided that since about Dr. Namalwar, we don't have any scholarship, any fellowship, any medal in his name. We have in Tamil Nadu Agricultural University a wing that talks about Dr. Namalwar agriculture, this organic farming. But unfortunately, we do not have any incentive for the students to study organic farming and do well. So we have decided to institute one gold medal and an award every year in the name of Dr. Namalwar in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University for a student, graduating a student of agriculture who is doing very well in organic farming, natural farming. This will be instituted from this year, and it is a beginning, just a modest beginning. We have to do more. We have to take it to other universities, because many universities have agriculture department. We have to take it. We have to take it to other institutions. It has to be a movement. As I said, nothing sort of movement is going to save us, save the planet. Because if we don't do it now, if we lose the time, the way things are getting destructed, getting destroyed, we will soon will be at a point of no return. It will be irreversible. So you, all of you sitting here, give me the confidence, encourage me to believe that this movement is going to succeed, and it will succeed. It has to succeed. There is no alternative. You carry on the way you are. The rest of the country, the rest of the people are going to join you. Be sure about it, because everyone knows it, that what chemical fertilizer based agriculture is doing is not sustainable. This lesson is going down. Everyone is now realizing it. I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for taking part in it. I thank you all for showing your interest. And thank you all for carrying on the mission for quite some time. Even when we were not talking about it, you were doing it. So you are the source of our inspiration. You are the source of inspiration for our future generation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.